In this video, we're going to find a product that passes our choosing a product cheat sheet. And this cheat sheet is a powerful way to quickly decide if a product has potential. If a product is able to pass this cheat sheet, then we can seriously consider importing it. To download this cheat sheet right now, pause this video and click on the link right below the video. Pause the video and go do that right now. Did you download the sheet? Okay, let's move on. Now, before we start looking for a product, we're going to have to download a plugin called Unicorn Smasher. And this plugin will save us a ton of time when we're researching products. Before we get started with Unicorn Smasher, I want to mention that there's another similar tool out there called Jungle Scout Pro. This tool offers the same information that Unicorn Smasher offers, and also a lot more. And on top of that, the information you get with Jungle Scout Pro is more accurate. The reason why we're not using it in this video is because it's a paid plugin. Now, to get started, you need to first have Google Chrome installed. So if you have it installed already, open it up. But if you don't have Google Chrome installed, go to Google on the web browser that you are using and type in install Chrome. And from here, you'll find an easy link where you can click on download now. And on this page, download Chrome. And the installer will walk you through how to install Google Chrome really easily. So once you have Google Chrome installed, you're going to want to go to Google and type in install Unicorn Smasher. And we're looking for this link that says Unicorn Smasher ! That's unicornsmasher.com. We're going to click on that and then click on Get Unicorn Smasher. And we're going to need to enter our name and email to get this. And then click on Send me the download. Within less than 5 minutes, you should get an email with a link to download the Unicorn Smasher plugin. About 2 minutes later, I got the Unicorn Smasher into my email inbox. So once you get this email, you're going to want to click on it. We're going to want to click on Download Unicorn Smasher here. This will take us to the Chrome Web Store where we can click on Add to Chrome. And then click Add Extension. And that's it. Unicorn Smasher has been added to Chrome. Now we are going to open up our Choosing a Product cheat sheet. And I am very excited to show this resource to you. It is something that Eric and I have spent a ton of time creating, and it's going to save you so much time when you go searching for a profitable product idea. The purpose of this sheet is to be a very quick way for you to decide while you're looking through potential products whether they have a lot of potential and you should save them so later you can do a deeper look at them, or if you should skip a certain product and your time is better spent looking at other products. And what's so cool about this sheet is it's interactive. So instead of having to print it out and write on it, you can just click here, type in the product name, and then as you look at each of these criterias, if the answer is yes, you can check that box off, or if the answer is no, you could check that box. And the way the sheet is designed is you're looking for a product that you can answer yes to all 8 of these questions. And if for a certain product, one of the answers turns out to be no, you should stop right there and go look for a different product. We've carefully selected all 8 of these criterias to be essential. So you're looking for a product that passes all of them. Although this is going to take some time up front, the advantage of doing this is you're going to save a ton of time down the road. This means you're only going to take a deep look at products that have already passed these basic criterias, and it gives that product a much higher chance of being what we're looking for. Now I'm going to explain to you a little bit about each of these 8 criterias and why we chose it. And don't worry if you get lost at some point while I'm explaining this, because after I explain why we chose these criterias, we're going to pick a product online and run it through this worksheet. So you're going to find out exactly what I mean by each of these and how you can use them. The first criteria is 5 of the top 10 products have a BSR between 2,500 and 25,000. Now this thing called a BSR is something that's going to be very important to us when we're looking at potential product ideas. What it stands for is bestseller rank. And it's a way for Amazon to tell us how well is a product selling within its main category. So I'll give you an example now. Let's say we're looking online and we're in the pet supplies main category and we find a special dog leash. And this special dog leash has a BSR of 500. What that means is in that main pet category, this special dog leash is the 500th best-selling item in that category. The reason why it's important to look at a BSR that falls in this range is products that have a BSR that's very, very low are making a lot of sales, but it also means they have a lot of competition. And on the other end of the spectrum, products with a very high BSR may not have a lot of competition, but they're also not selling very well. So we're looking for products that fall in that sweet spot in the middle, where they're having enough sales volume that we can make money if we were to sell a product there, but they're not too competitive where it's going to be very hard for us to compete with other people. The next criteria is none of the top 10 products have a BSR below 500. And this has a lot to do with what I just explained about the BSR. We want to avoid products that are selling really, really well, because if any of the top 10 products have a BSR below 500, that means it's going to be very hard for us to compete with that seller because they're doing so well. The next criteria is each of the top 15 products has less than 1,000 reviews. And it's important that our competition doesn't have too many reviews, because when we start selling our product, we're starting out with 0 reviews. And if we have 0 reviews and our competitors have thousands, it's going to be very hard for us to catch up. The next criteria is 10 of the top 15 products have less than 200 reviews. And the reason for this is we don't want our competition in general to have too many reviews, because if they do, like I mentioned with the last criteria, it's harder for us to catch up when we're starting out with 0 reviews. The next criteria is we're looking for a product that sells between $15 and $75. And we chose this range because you don't want the selling price to be too low. Otherwise, there's not a big enough profit margin where it's worth it for you to sell that product. But you also don't want your selling price to be too high, because that means you have an expensive product, which increases your risk because you're spending a lot more money on inventory. The next criteria is the product is durable and unlikely to break while shipping. The last thing we want is a fragile product that's going to break by the time it arrives at the customer's doorstep. Next, we want a product that's not too big, because that's going to save us a ton of money on shipping costs when the product shipped from China to our Amazon warehouse and then from the Amazon warehouse to our customer. The last criteria is the product does not violate any copyrights or patents. And this is very important because if it does, we're going to run into a lot of legal trouble. Now it's time to find a product that we can run through this sheet. And to do this, you're going to want to open up an internet browser. From here, we want to type in Amazon bestseller list. And what this is it's an incredible tool that Amazon created for us that shows you all of the best-selling items in each category. And to get started, we're going to want to think back to the category we chose in an earlier video. So if you remember, the category I chose was pet. So I'm going to be clicking on the pet main category. But for you, you're going to want to click on the main category that you chose earlier. So now that we're in the pet category, we're going to see a list of items. So if we look here, this bag of cat food has a number 1 next to it, and that means it's the number 1 best-selling item in the pet category. Or in other words, it has a BSR of 1. Now if you remember from looking at our sheet, a BSR of 1 is way too competitive. There's no chance that we're able to compete with that. So we want to look for products that have a much lower BSR. So we could scroll through this list, but all of the items here have a high BSR. 15 means that this item is the 15th best-selling item. And we're looking for products that have a BSR at the very least that's lower than 500. What we can do then is look at the category's subcategories. So in the main pet category, we have a list here of all of the subcategories that live within it. For this example, I'm going to click on the dog subcategory. What we have here is the best-selling items in the dog supplies subcategory. But we could care less about how well the product is selling in a given subcategory. All we care about is how well is that item selling in the main category. So I'm going to pick a product here as an example. Let's use this dog training collar. And here it's number 6. So that means in this subcategory of dog supplies, it's the 6th best-selling item. But you're probably wondering, how do we find out how well this product is selling in the main pet supplies category? To do that, we want to click on the listing and scroll down until we find the product details page. And then we want to look for Amazon bestsellers rank. And we're looking for the number in the main category. So the main category that I'm looking at now is pet supplies. And in that category, this collar is number 8. So that's still way too low of a BSR for what we're looking for. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to try going a subcategory deeper. So we're in the dog subcategory within the main pet category. But now within that dog subcategory, there's a bunch of subcategories that live within it. Don't worry if it's a little confusing right now. The more you play with this, the quicker you're going to understand how it all works. Now I'm going to click on the collars, harnesses, and leashes category. The deeper we go into these subcategories, the lower the BSR number is going to be. So I'm going to pick one of these as an example. I'm going to look at this reflective harness. And I'm going to scroll down. And here we can see that the bestseller rank in the main category is 578. So in general, that's still a very low BSR. But according to our criteria sheet, it isn't below 500. So potentially it could work for us. So now let's say we want to run this product through our choosing a product cheat sheet. How exactly do we do that? Well, the first thing we're going to do is look at the product name, which is a reflective harness. And I'm going to open up a new tab and type in Amazon.com. And now I'm going to type in this product. It's a reflective dog harness. And now we're going to see a bunch of products show up that are all reflective dog harnesses. So let's look at our criteria sheet. The first thing we can do is enter the product name. And this will help keep us organized. Next up is 5 of the top 10 products have a BSR between 2,500 and 25,000. So let's find out if the answer to this criteria is yes, they do, or no, they don't. So the slow way to do this is to open up all of the top 10 listings and scroll down until you find the BSR for each of them and see if they pass this criteria. But as you can imagine, this will take a very, very long time. And how we can save our time is by using the Unicorn Smasher plugin. So you want to click on this box in the top right-hand corner, and it's going to scan all of the top products for us and give us the information that we need. So we can ignore these top 2 products because they are advertised listings or sponsored listings. And for that reason, it's not giving us the information that we want. So we can say that this is the first product. Now let's take a look back at our criteria to make sure we're looking for the right thing. We want to see if 5 of the top 10 products have the BSR between 2,500 and 25,000. Well, here BSR is under rank. And so we can look at the rank for the top 10 products. So this first one is within the range. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. This one's outside of the range. So is this one. So is this one. 4, outside of the range. outside of the range, 5. And since the first 2 products, we weren't counting those, that's why I went to 12 over here. So 5 of the top 10 products are within our given BSR range. So that means we can check off yes. So here I'm going to check yes and just type in 5 of the top 10 products pass. The next criteria is none of the top 10 products have a BSR below 500. And we can find that out very quickly by looking at the rank. And here we can see that none of them are under 500. This one is close at 578, but we're still okay, so I'm going to click yes. Next up is each of the top 15 products has less than 1,000 reviews. Here we have the number of reviews next to each product. And it looks like this item here has over 2,000 reviews, and so does this one down here. So no, it does not pass that criteria. Normally, when I check no for any of the criterias, I would immediately stop looking at this product and start looking at a different product. But for this example, I just want to show you how to walk through each of these criterias, so we're going to keep going. Next up is 10 of the top 15 products have less than 200 reviews. And we can do a simple check here. No, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So only 5 of the top 15 products have less than 200 reviews, and we need 10. So I'm going to click no. The product selling price is between $15 and $75. And by taking a look at the price here, it seems like yes, the average selling price lies in that range. The product is durable and unlikely to break while shipping. I think we can say yes for a dog harness. Now we need to find out the product size. And to do that, we're going to have to exit out of Unicorn Smasher and click on one of these listings. And we're going to scroll down until we see the product dimensions. Here it's saying that this product is 5 by 5 by 1 inches, which is smaller than this criteria, so we can click yes. And finally, the product does not violate any copyrights or patents. Further on, if we decide to do a deeper search in this product, we can more thoroughly look to see if it does have any copyrights or patents. But for now, for the dog harness, my gut is to say that yes, it does not violate any copyrights or patents. But if we were to look at this product more closely, we would want to check that further before importing it. So that's it. We've run the reflective dog harness through our choosing a product cheat sheet, and it passes 5 out of the 8 criterias, which in our case is not good enough. It has to answer yes to every single one of these questions for it to be worth us saving this product to do a deeper search later on. In this video, we installed the Unicorn Smasher plugin and looked for a product to import using our choosing a product cheat sheet.